Welcome guys. Now we're gonna be coding this selection sort, right? So how do we start? Basically, I'm just gonna be calling my function, and before I do that, I'm just gonna say if name underscore 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 is equal to underscore underscore main underscore, right? And like so, I'm just gonna be calling my selection on A. Yeah. Now we don't really have selection method as of now, so I'm gonna be making my selection method that's gonna take an argument which is gonna be a, right? And this is for the outer loop. So for I in range of length of a, right? So this is for the outer loop. So n number of elements, so you'll have to do that. And now whatever code is gonna come beyond this, so that is gonna be for one single element. Okay. So now I'm gonna say is let's just assume my minimum position is equal to I. Okay, so I is gonna be starting from 0. It's gonna be, so I'm just assuming my first index is gonna be my minimum position. So index 0 is holding my minimum value. I'm just assuming. I don't know if it's true or not, but clearly it's not true because the first element is 22. But don't worry. For j range, again length of a, right? So you have to go for length of A, but this time as J is increasing, so after the first iteration, the first element is going to be sorted. If I is 2, then you have to start from 2. If I is 3, then you have to start from 3. So which is why I'm going to be putting the another argument in the range function that you take the initial bit from I and then you go until the length of A. Yeah, and once you do that, so what's going to be the logic? Logic is I'm just going to be checking if my A of J, whatever is the JF index is, if that is less than, yeah, if that is less than my A of minimum pause is our assumption, right? We have to check if our assumption is correct or not, right? If this is wrong, right? So obviously our assumption will be wrong. When this statement is true, our assumption will be wrong, right? And then we'll just say, okay, the minimum position which we thought was the minimum position, that's not correct. Rather, the jth index is the new minimum position. Okay, once we have done that, we come out of the if loop, right? We come out of the for loop, and then we try and make a switch. Why did we have to come out of the for loop and make a switch? Well, because we don't want multiple switches to happen, right? That's the whole point of selection sort. So that's here exactly where you're gonna be switching the thing. Okay, so you're gonna be saying my a minimum position, which is your JS index now, change it with a of I. So I was what you thought was the minimum position, so you do that and then you put I here, right? And this is how basically this is the quicker way of uh, switching. Yeah, so you're gonna be saying min pause, right? And once you have done that, then you come here and then you can, like, you might want to see how things are working, so you just throw in a print statement printing your array. Okay, and once you run it, and then you're going to be seeing, okay, you can pretty much see what's happening, and this has done sorting in the ascending order. So you see, let me just pick up my pen and then try and explain it. So you see, the first element was 22. So the very first iteration which happened, the internal iterations. Okay, so this was it. This is the internal iteration. So this is going to be happening for n number of elements or n times, where n is the number of elements in your list. So this is why you're getting this print statement printed n number of times. So anyway, so the very first thing, the very first time it pulled out 2 at front, right? You can see it pulled out 2 at front, right? In the very next situation, it will be pulling out second highest number, which is 4. So it pulled out 4, and then third iteration it pulled out 8. So that's basically like how it went on. And now at this point, 22 and 33, because they were already sorted, so which is why it didn't touch and eventually went into there. So that's basically your selection sort. I hope I've made myself clear. So basically, just to recap, so you just assume that my first index is my minimum position, but then you get into the internal loop and then you try and loop it from here to here in incremental way. And once you hit the point where you actually have the minimum value, you are checking through this bit, right? And once you've hit that value, so then you say, this is not the minimum position, this is not the minimum position is this one. So, and then you come out, the, but the thing is like, you have to finish off your internal loop because this is the first minimum value which you saw. There might be another minimum value, not in this list, it's not there, but it could be the reason that your minimum value might be lingering or languishing at the last position, right? So you continue your internal stuff and then you come out once you're sure, like, that's the new minimum position, and you make a switch. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one now. Thank you guys.